So here in Dubai, it's Bugatti Day. The new Chiron Pur Sport just got launched. That's the one you see in the background. Quite special, I would say. Just when you wondered if the Chiron could get better, yeah, this is the one. Now, it's not about getting more power. It's about better handling. So which is why it's called Pure Sport. It's 50 kilograms less in weight and got 200 RPMs revs extra to it. Titanium, carbon fiber and a new spoiler plays a great role in bringing down the weight.
Wheels made of magnesium and exhaust made of titanium greatly contribute to the weight loss. Further contributing to the improved handling are 65% firmer springs at the front and 33% firmer springs at the rear, as well as a camber value of -2.5 degrees. But ironically, while sports cars usually benefit from going lighter, there is an instance in the Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport where a little bit of extra weight can actually add up to the aerodynamics and better handling.
I found out something interesting, that adding a little bit of weight to the car can actually improve its performance. Now, that's quite intriguing. Surprised? Let's ask Frank, the Deputy Design Director of Bugatti. Hi Frank.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Now this was very interesting to know that adding a little bit of weight can actually improve its performance. Can you explain it to me?
Of course, I'll be happy to. So on the Pure Sport, we have this new magnesium wheel.
Yeah.
It saves all around the car about 16 kilograms unsprung mass,
Right.
which is vital for the performance.
Right.
It comes in two configurations, either like this, which is the lightest possible, or if you're willing to add 200 grams to the wheel, you say, okay, I can deal with another 200 gram unsprung mass, which is, I think, worth it.
Yeah.
We can add some aerodynamic properties to this wheel that are unheard of. So we add the aerodynamic rings. It's two rings.
Right.
And these rings have a special profile to them.
Right.
And this profile has the effect of creating a draft of air from the inside of the wheel to the outside.
All right.
And that does many things. First of all, it cools the brake because it improves the flow of air through
Great.
the brake. Secondly, it evacuates the underfloor because it draws the air from the inside. And by evacuating the underfloor, we actually create downforce with the wheel. It's the first time that we've created a wheel that creates downforce.
Wow.
And thirdly, the extra air that will come out will actually improve the rear intake, the pressure on the rear intake here, by 6%.
All right.
So by adding 200 grams per wheel, you can create 6% better cooling and a bit of more downforce, and the brakes will be also cooler, which is relevant to track driving.
6% better cooling, and the air that gets sucked from here gets sent to the
That's the oil cooler for the gearbox on this side and the oil cooler for the engine on the other side.
all right. That exhaust plays a great role in bringing down the weight by around 50 kilograms, but there's more to the exhaust. Now, you've heard of 3D printing? You're actually seeing it. Frank, there's another thing I wanted to ask you about. Now, the exhaust, while they look great, they look quite different. Can you tell me a little more about those?
Yeah, this is a very special piece. You know, on a mid-engine car, it's vital to save weight behind the rear axle to get the weight balance forward as much as you can. So we made a big effort to save every gram of weight that we could find.
Right.
The titanium exhaust tip is one of them. So this exhaust looks this way because it was printed. So this could not be. This is an additive manufacturing. You see, there's kind of layers here. So this piece is put in a machine and it being built up in little increments of micromillimeters. So it's a bucket full of titanium powder, and there's a laser that welds the powder into micromillimeter thick layers. And like that we grow this part. This part could not be casted or machined, or any other way of fabrication could not be done like this.
Okay.
The shape is so complex, and the wall thicknesses are so thin. You listen to this. Yeah, it's like a surgical instrument almost.
Right.
It's so thin. It's 0.9 millimeter thick, and it has a double function as well. So because this is so thin, it couldn't comply with road homologation laws that say you have to have a 2.5 millimeter radius on all the edges, not to hurt anyone. So we put this coping, like a secondary layer here, this ring, which has a 2.5 millimeter radius, so you cannot hurt yourself. Like
All right.
And but inside it's
So the
thin.
inside, this is 0.9.
Yeah, this is so thin.
Wow.
And it has a double function as well to separate the exhaust fumes from the carbon fiber, because the exhaust is really hot. So we take in air from underneath and we blow out the air through these veins here to separate the hot exhaust fumes that come out down here from the carbon fiber, so we don't burn the carbon fiber. So this is a really complex scientific.
Oh, well, it sounds complex enough.
The power output of the Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport remains the same as the Chiron's. 1,500 horsepower and 1,600 Newton meters of torque. But the 7-speed transmission is 80% new and has a closer gear ratio. So while the shifts are now quicker, the tachometer has been stretched from 6,700 to 6,900 RPM. So we have a car that has a much lower top speed than the Chiron's, thanks to all the added downforce. But a car that's quicker to get to 100 kilometers per hour from standstill, or to 200, or 300.